This ain't your pappy's lever gun. JD's and Lettlemans. Cowboy season is here. Guys, Lever Guns 101. The do's, the don'ts, the best and the worst, and an industry expert that we have here today for you guys, a special treat. Vance from Honey Badger Haus. Welcome to the show, man. We appreciate you having me out, bringing out all these sweet guns.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me out. Go out to get some good range time out there and just having a good old time out in the sun.
Yeah, I mean, we look a little sunburnt. Sorry about that, guys. You're going to have to deal with that. But we have some really sweet guns here today. So we wanted to do a video of just the 101 level. What you should get, what you shouldn't get, where to spend your money right, and where to avoid spending your money. If you've ever had a lever gun, if this is your first lever gun, or if this is your fifth lever gun, this video is for you. So we wanted to kind of show off the heritage and just how cool this precious pink little rocket is right here, chambered in the Lord's caliber of 45-70. So we're going to talk about why these things are still relevant today, the hunting aspect, the different chamberings that they have. We're going to do a quick tier list for you guys, and we're going to talk about customization. We're going to go all the way from the rail, from the muzzle device, the buttstock, the quiver, you name it. We're going to talk about it. So we have got Vance from Honey Badger Haus here, whose entire business is lever guns. He sells a ton of other stuff too as well, HK being one of those, but his big thing is lever guns and customizing these things, slicking them up, tuning these things up like a NASCAR pit stop. Kind of like what you would compare a T-Sauce to a Nighthawk. We're going to take a base gun and make it absolutely awesome. So these are the guns that won the West. Along with the Colt Single Action Army Peacemaker, these things were there from all the way from the mid-1800s, well, until today. And there's a reason they're still relevant. So, well, first of all, they're fun. As you guys see, that's a riot. That's a lot of fun. I mean, we've got 45-70, we've got 30-30, we've got 44 Magnum, there's 357 Magnum, there's 38 Special, there's 22 Long Rifle, there's a million different cartridges for these things, and each one has their own purpose. So not only do you have the stopping power of 45-70 available, but you have the plinking and cheap cost to feed 22 Long Rifle. So there's kind of a lever gun for essentially like every single purpose out there. So let's start at the top, 45-70. 45-70 is an absolute monster. So look at this compared to a 5.56. I mean, this is absolutely, it's absurd. Like, it swallows an entire 5.56 cartridge. It's like, I don't know, 4 9mm cartridges put all together. It's like twice the size of a 44 Magnum, like all the stopping power Haus. There's a company called Buffalo Bore, and like their main thing is like making super spicy, super powerful ammo. They have a 45-70 cartridge that is a 380 grain projectile mono metal that delivers 3,650 foot-pounds of energy. That's sensational. Like it's an elephant gun. Actually, in fact, it's actually T-Rex certified. Yeah, is it Marlon?
Yep, 45-70 T-Rex certified.
I mean, it's not just like the 45-70, right? Like we have what, 44 Magnum too?
Yep, we got 44 Magnum. So this year is a 45-70 round. That goes to the Nerf gun over here, and then this one is the 44 mag, which this is the same caliber that was used by the tracker in John Wick 4 as well.
Like 44 Magnum is no bull crap either. Like that's a serious slug. And you really look at it compared to like the 45-70, it's like it seems so tiny, but dude, nobody wants to get hit with a 45. And I can promise you this, it's a solid little deer gun. Like it's a solid little brush gun. So you have 44 Magnum as well. Another big one that has really made a huge step, in my opinion, it's kind of my favorite, not in the sense that it's the most powerful, but in the sense of it's like the cheapest to feed, but also it's got enough stopping power, is 357. And what makes it so rad is 357 Magnum is by far one of the cheapest Magnums to shoot when it comes to like these pistol calibers or these lever guns. But what makes it super special is that you can run 38 special in that. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. You can run 38 special through these things and get a can on here, and it's like a mouse fart. And 38 special is dirt cheap. I'm pretty sure if you hopped on AmmoSeek right now, you could find them for like 28 to 30 cents a round. That's awesome. That's sweet. And it is super quiet. So it's like basically kind of like 9mm, but out of a lever gun. So we have all of these different cartridges. Like, why is that important? Well, that's a variety. So there's a lever gun for pretty much any purpose. So let's talk about 4570. There isn't a single wild game in North America that is going to take a 4570 and be like, yeah, that was nothing. Like, 4570 is what literally almost nearly extinct the entire buffalo population. You were saying something earlier about the 4570. It was designed for like penetrating horses, like people hiding behind horses.
Yeah, so it was designed for it was designed to actually shoot through a horse and kill the person hiding behind a horse, the enemy that was behind the horse.
Yeah, so the Wild West was pretty brutal.
Yeah, and when small pocket blanks don't work, you just give them some 4570.
You know what's super rad is like the 4570 is a straight wall cartridge. So I know like you Midwestern guys who are deer hunters, yeah, like I grew up shooting 12 gauge slugs out of bird guns that were non-rifled and that shot like minute of a barn at 100 yards. I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea we could actually use these until like a few years ago, until people started like bringing out the new like the 350 Legend and all the goofy stuff. Meme cartridges, in my opinion, when the 4570 actually exists. Yeah, we were still shooting like 12 gauge slugs like pilgrims out there, so would have been pretty nice to have something like this, but I digress. I have it now. So Vance, you retail a bunch of different lever guns. Is there some lever guns that you're like, please don't mess with that? And like, is there some lever guns like, yes, that is good to go? Because I feel like I know a very fair amount of gun and quality manufacturers in like the tactical world, the bolt guns, the ARs, the pistols and stuff. But I gotta be honest, I'm not super well versed in lever guns. So like, is there brands that we should just stay away from?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's some really, really cheap brands that are peddled by some other manufacturers out there, or distributors, or storefronts. That'd be more like your G-Force and your Turkish-made stuff. It's also going to be
Citadel.
Citadel. That was the other one too.
G-Force. Dude, who makes a gun?
That was a gerbil movie, I think, or something like that too.
It's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, who makes a gun company? And I'm just like, what should we name this, boys? And they're all sitting around like the Knights of the Round Table with cigars and whiskey, and they're like, G-Force. And everybody was like on board, like, yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, they're just their quality control and their internals and how everything is just so janky, and just you can't polish a turd. Yeah. Let's just say that.
It's like you know, you buy like a cheap junk like a T-Sauce or like a High Point or something like that, and like you get a gun like that, and you're just like, this
is exactly what they are. They're more like the High Point of the lever guns. I would say that's what I would say. Or even the T-Sauce, you know, the same way. It's
I mean, because even T-Sauce, like I've had a couple T-Sauce guns, and like some of them are great, and some of them are literally awful.
Yeah. It's wild. Yeah. It's wild. There's difference. It's like you know, A shift was on during the time they were making the good ones, and then here comes the B team and just screw everything up.
They ran out of coffee,
and the day shift's trying to figure out what midnight shift was doing the night before.
It's just like a perpetual cycle of trying to un-F the last job shift, the swing shift. Like it's like, well, we better fix this. Just a perpetual cycle of just like fixing the other person's mistakes. Yeah. So okay. So like we know what to avoid, but like, what would you say is like the premier? Like if you were gonna get one and you wanted to get the best of the best out of the factory, like what would you get?
Oh, I mean, if you want like some great Italian-made firearms,
Gorlami,
like the whole thing, like this right here, the whole meme thing going on, you got to go with Versatility. Imported by IFG, Italian Firearms Group out of Amarillo, Texas. Great guns. Everything about those firearms is just, I mean, The way, if you knew the way that they did their proof shots through their guns before they even left the country to come to the United States, it's absolutely wild. We won't go into that. There's too much into it. But they make some wild, cool guns. And if you're a Winchester enthusiast and you want something that was made pre-64, but you can't afford those pre-64 prices,
yeah,
Pedersoli's way to go. They are the most true blue and to the T of Winchester clones, along with Taylor & Co. Taylor & Co. makes a phenomenal one. They just actually, Taylor & Co. at SHOT Show this year released a Winchester 1873 clone that shoots 9mm. That's pretty sick. And they don't even have, it's custom tuned, custom action, the whole 9 yards. I think their MSRP is like $19.99 or something like that. Super,
a little steep, but that's rad.
Steep for a 9mm, but they don't even have to do a short throw lever system in it because that 9mm cartridge is so short already. It's just.
So like, if you want to shoot fast AF, boy, you ever seen those cowboy action shooters? There's that super big dude, bro. Like, he's like the final boss of cowboy action shooters. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you would look at him and you're probably like, oh no, like this dude's in pretty rough shape. But then he pulls out his pistols and he shoots it, and you're just like, okay, like, oh boy, he ain't playing around. Like, I feel like that would be the perfect way to describe like the 9mm, because like it's super short throw, like that's what I want for sure. If there was a brand that like the common man would want, and like a lot of your builds start with, like it seems like they always start with like either a Marlin or a Henry, right?
Yeah, so Marlins and Henrys are my bee's knees. That's what I know the most about. That's the ones I can get in there, knock them out. And Henry and Marlin, I love them because their quality control's great. Sometimes I find errors, sometimes I don't. But I mean, these are the, your modern hunting man. These are the guys going to go out to the bush. These are the guys going to go slay some hogs.
So Vance offers a complete blank slate and a complete blank project for anybody to start. Whether you want to go crazy all the way, super high end, or you just want to go like a solid working man's kind of gun. So tell me, like, when somebody comes in and says, hey, I want the works, what does that look like for you?
So the HBDC package, that's going to be the Honey Badger Don't Care package. It's going to be what you see right here, minus the takedown side of it, and also this will actually have a tactical stock on it, not the factory butt stock on it.
Tactical.
Yeah, so it'll have that butt stock. It's going to have all your rail covers. It's going to have your quivers up here. It's going to have your 6-round quiver on the back, like that's on this 4570. It's going to have your top rail. It's going to be ready to rock and roll. So I go through, I tear these down to just the barrel and receiver only. I work over the entire gun. Make sure there's no burrs, no defects. Make sure everything is in spec. Make sure it's going to be reliable. Make sure it's going to be ready to rock and roll whenever you pull it out the bag to go out and go shoot some hogs. After I get through and check everything, make sure that everything's in spec and reliable, that's whenever I start working my magic. I go through and start hand fitting some of the parts that go in there. I actually upgrade some of the parts that go in these guns. Take out some of the factory parts, put some new parts in it to make it more reliable. Some of the same things that some of the guys that are bush pilots up in Alaska use. I put some of those parts in here to make it more reliable when you're out in the field.
But how do you get them so smooth? Like, I can't describe it to you guys. Like, it's one of those things that you can't show it, you can't convey it over a video. Like, you just have to feel it to understand. Like, first of all, that's such an aesthetic sound.
Yeah, it's just like that one finger move.
Yeah, like
when you get this gun out of the box from this is a Ruger made Marlin 1894 with the pistol grip. This is actually an 1894 SBL, and when you get it out of the box, it is just kind of like
nasty and
it's gritty. It's like whenever you get a Glock. Like he was talking about the sauce. It's like when you get a Glock and you're pulling that trigger, and it's just like, and then you pull it. And then you go get a Nighthawk or whatever else it has a custom job to it, and it's like, oh, nice and smooth and easy. I do that to this. Like, I do that to these rifles because I hate that gritty action. And so I go through and I hand fit, and I actually go through and polish everything, deburr the things that need to be deburred on the inside of it. And I work this action over and over and over and over again until it gets to where I'm satisfied. But that's a lot of what I do to these guns. There's more than just, people think I just slap parts on it and then charge a premium. No, it is working the entire gun over from top to bottom.
It's like, it's the hand fitting and the polishing. So like, I feel like anybody can just go buy a bunch of random parts from Midwest or something like that. And just a bunch of just random tactical accessories and throw them on here. But and that works and that's cool. But where the magic is happening is all in here. Yep. So like again, like it's so hard to, the best way to describe it is like you get a factory Glock and you pull the trigger on the factory Glock trigger and you're just like, this is miserable. Like this is just, it's long, it's just gritty. Like it's not super predictable when the gun is going to go bang. And everybody can agree that like a factory brand new Glock trigger is pretty miserable. But everybody can agree as well that a Glock factory trigger with like 5,000 rounds on it is like awesome. And essentially it's because you have hand polished all of the striker bar and all of those moving parts in there. And you do that with every single surface bearing part, right?
Yep. Go through, strip it all out, and I clean off all the junk that's on there and go through and hand polish and hand fit everything back to where it needs to be and to my specifications and how I want it to be, because I want it to run and I want it to be smooth. And that also includes changing some of the internal parts in here to make it run smooth. Actually, some of the parts I put in here are actually from a world champion cowboy action shooter.
So, guys, I believe we have a wrap on Lever Guns 101, the do's and the don'ts. I'm not gonna lie, Vance, I can't thank you enough for bringing all this stuff up here. I had so much fun. It's kind of funny. I went into this and I wasn't too sure if I was gonna fall in love with these things or not. I was like, they're so much fun and they're cool and they're old, but I don't know if they're still relevant. And it took shooting it one time to be like, yeah, okay, I get it now. This makes sense now. So, man, I can't thank you enough. So, guys, this is Vance, Honey Badger Haus. Dude, tell them where they can find you at and find your custom work.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and over on my website. You can go on there, go check out all the other stuff I do. I don't just do the lever action stuff. I deal with a huge variety of different firearms, especially HK. I'm an HK premium firearms and parts dealer. Be more than happy to help you guys out. Just contact me, get in touch, and we'll get you fixed up.